I was asked to show how to tie a 13-part 11 Bight Casa Knot. And we're going to tie it by the enlargement process number 2, or a type of a number 2 enlargement process. So right here, this S in this is the standing end. We cross the standing end right there. Now, this is a run list out of my old book, Turk's Head Knot Tips, and we're not going to follow it line for line. I'm just going to show you how to tie it and use this process. So I'll get this out of the way and we'll just tie this knot. And it starts the same as like tying a 5/4, only this is a type 2 knot, so we're going to go on the back side of the standing end. So we're going to go around the mandrel, and over, and then an over. Now we're going to go, let me get my standing end here so we can see it. We're going to go under, over, and under the standing end. So that is a under, over, under. Now if we were going to tie a 5/4, we would have turned and went right there. Or if we were going to tie, this is the same way as just tying a 7/4 on this back side. But now we're going to start laying our tracks in our type 2 type of enlargement process where we're making tracks. So we're going under, over, under, making tracks on the left-hand side of the standing end. There'd be our tracks. So we're following the strand on our right. Now we're going to cross under and follow the strand on our left. So we're going to go under, and it's going over 2, so we go over 2, and then we go under, now we go do the same thing with a under 1, over 2, under 1. We're just following the strand on our right. Now we're going to cross. We're following this strand on our left now, so we're going to go under 2. It's going over 2, so we go over 2. And we got to get our standing end down here because that's part of our next under 2. And the standing end is the second one in. So if it's fell out, that could be a spot to confuse you. Okay, now we're going to repeat that sequence of under 2. We're following this strands there. Under 2, over 2, and under the ones we're following. Okay, now we're going to go under 2, because we're following these strands there. Under 2, over 3, under 2, and right here is where we're going to pick up the over of our standing end. So we're following this strand right here. So we went under 2, over 3, under 2, over our standing end to complete that half cycle. Now we repeat that with an under 2, and now with here's where we start splitting our tracks. These two strands are our tracks. So we go under 2 to get into our tracks. Now we go over 3 because they're going over our tracks. We got a pair going under our tracks, so we go under 2 and out over 1. Now we're going to go under 2 to get into our tracks. We've got a pair going over our tracks. These are our tracks, these two right here. So we got a pair going over, so we go over 2. We got a single going under, so we go under 1. We got a single going over, so we go over 1. We got a pair going under our tracks, so we go under 2 and out over 1. We repeat that process with an under 2 to get into our tracks. We have a pair going over our track, so we go over 2. We got a single going under our track, so we go under 1. We got a single going over our track, so we go over 1. We got a pair, a double going under our tracks, so we go under 2 and out over 1. Now we got to get this outside bite. We go under 1 to get into our tracks. We got a single going over our track, so we go over. We got a single going under our track, so we go under. Now we've got a double going over our tracks, right there. So we go over 2. We got a single going under our track, so we go under 1. We've got a single going over our tracks, so we go over. We got a single going under our tracks, so we go under 1. We got a single going over our tracks, right there. And we got a single going under our tracks, so we go under 1 and split it and out over 1. Now see that bite right there? We go under it to get into our tracks. We got a single going over our tracks, so we go over. We got a single going under our tracks, so we go under. We got a double going over our tracks, so we go over 2. We got a single going under our tracks, so we go under 1. We got a single going over our tracks, so we go over 1. We got a single going under our tracks, so we go under 1. We got a double going over our tracks. See, here's our tracks. We got a single going over our tracks, so we go over 1. We got a single going under our tracks, so we go under 1 and out over 1 out of the knot. Now we go under that bite to get into our tracks. Here's our tracks, and it's all singles going over and under our tracks all the way across. So it's just over 1, under 1, splitting our tracks. Over, under. Over, under. Over, under. Over, under. I could hear that needle catch a strand in my thread there. See where I snagged it? Okay, so it's over 1, under 1, out over 1, and we're back to our standing end, so we go in alongside of it, finish our knot. So that ties our 13-part 8-Bight Casa Knot with a type of a type 2 enlargement. I hope you'll try to tie this knot because it is a lot of fun to tie. Thank you for watching.